Welcome to the downside. I am now in an even worse mood than the first time I said it, which people can't hear.
Why?
Because we had technical difficulties. I'm a little bit high, and I didn't mean to be.
Oh God, how'd that happen?
Well, I woke up. I was going to Barry's boot camp, and I like to have a little bit of high because it's a lot of running, and it's so boring. And if I get bored, for me, working out, boredom is the thing that clicks in. So I like to get a little high, then I get a little into the music. Yeah. When I get high, I think I like feel music the way I imagine you do more regularly.
Yeah.
And I took a fucking, it was a gummy. It was 10 milligrams.
That's
so
big.
That's why I took a quarter. I was aiming for 2 to 3.
Yeah.
I feel like I took 15.
Wow.
And suddenly I can't get anything done.
Yeah.
I go to a place. It's not even interesting. What I'm mad at is you. Because you recommended me to do this goddamn motherfucking improv.
It's really
thing.
stressful.
It's so fucking annoying. So for those, I'm not gonna hide the mood today like I normally do. So the way that works, an actor, me, prepares a scene, but I only memorize obviously my lines. And I do it with an improviser. So I'm saying like there's a scripted line, they're improvising, and then I have to respond with the next scripted line, even doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at memorizing. This is like the last, I have to get better at going, Gianmarco, in a week, this is what your day is gonna be. Do you want that day?
Yeah.
Do you want that day?
Yeah.
And I said yes because you, period. And here's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And because we're trying this new thing. This is a Patreon exclusive, but we release an excerpt, and I think we're trying to just release the beginning, first 10 to 15, to entice you, the casual listener, to join the Patreon. And here's what we're doing.
What?
At the end of this motherfucking thing, at the end of the recording session, we are doing this together, and you are the improviser.
Great. I'll do it right now. I don't care.
Did you just hear what I said?
Oh, at the end.
At the end, so the people join the Patreon.
Okay.
For the people who are going, I got to pay to hear Russell improvise.
Oh, my God.
We've heard his sweet riffs normally. Let's hear.
Hey, listen, I knew that you, I knew this was going to be hard for you. That's why I wanted you to really prepare for it, because I know memorization doesn't come as easy to you. It doesn't.
No.
Right? And it's hard to just like have to like stick to it. It's really hard
because
I was before I did it, I was like, why is this so hard for me? Like I was like really struggling, and I was sitting like that 2 hours before, being like, oh, like just like going crazy, like for an audition. Like it's like, but it doesn't matter, but it does, you know.
Exactly. Well, that's what, so Tova was like, she wanted to go, and I was like, I don't think I want you to go because I think I'm gonna be bad.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be embarrassed. And she was like, you're uninviting me to the show? And I said, no, baby, I don't.
The thing is that, well, I will say, having done it, you feel once you're there a lot less pressure than the improvisers. Because ultimately, if the scene isn't funny, it's their fault and not your fault. Kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
The improvisers are like, they're the ones expected to get something. Obviously, you want to do a good job. You want to know the lines. But it's much more on their shoulders to get laughs.
At the end, would it be rude if it doesn't go well, if once the scene is over, I say, just remind everyone, I had to say all those lines. It was up to him to be funny.
Yeah.
So I'm mad at you through that.
Because I said you should do it?
Yeah. I'm mad about a lot of things. I had to be at Mohegan Sun this weekend. I don't want to be at that casino. I've spent half my life at that casino. The finale of Curb Your Enthusiasm was so bad, it makes me mad. It makes me furious.
It's also funny because no one's talking about how bad that season was.
No one.
And I kind of I understand people are like, the show is so beloved from the earlier seasons that we're all just pretending that last season wasn't as atrocious as it was.
Or the regular person, not to, I'm getting more arrogant about comedy where I'm like, well, there's the regular people and there's people like comedy. And by regular, I'm talking you, Mom.
But
I feel like the old season, she'd be like, ugh. And the new, my mom doesn't like any Seinfeld stuff, but some people would like the new seasons.
See, but I don't see it talked about at all.
Sure.
That I'm thinking that it's just kind of a blip, and like no one's really going to talk about it until maybe you know what I mean?
I think it's like, it feels, I'm glad Larry David is famous. I hope he continues to be. I don't know what you call these people where they get old and they do a late night thing every now and then, maybe an interview with David Letterman.
Yeah.
And you enjoy them.
Maybe a one-off thing.
It's like they're retired essentially. And I like that he's part of that conversation. But I also feel like, man, I wish when you were less likable and it was funnier.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like kind of cantankerous now. But he's cantankerous now, but he's like, I'm mad at you, Elmo. And before, the newscaster, he would have said something really rude to them.
Yeah,
Maybe like,
yeah.
what was that?
Yeah.
Russell.
I'm sorry that you had to go to a casino. I love that casino. I would have gone with you. I had shows.
Oh, yeah. My mom saw you in Titanic.
Yes, she did.
My mom posted a picture on Instagram of just the playbill.
Yeah.
And then a song that had nothing to do with Titanic.
Well, it was pre-show music playing. It was a video.
Oh.
I think.
No, I think because then she without deleting the first post.
Yeah.
She then reposted the same picture of the playbill with Celine Dion underneath.
Yeah.
And
it was so sweet of her to come.
Is it a burden? Be honest.
No, no. I do think that
I'm glad she came. For Mom, I know you're listening. I appreciate you seeing my friends' things. It feels cool. We have a shared vocabulary, shared language. It's nice.
I have a good thing going now, where I'm being a little more honest with myself if I'm gonna like just say hi quickly to someone. Because in the past I would be like, oh, and then we'll like get a quick drink.
Sure.
And because it's been a limited little time, I don't really have that in me to do with everything. So I've been good about like a 5 to 10 minute quick check-in after the show. Thank you. It was nice to see people. It's so nice when people come. I've been having all this allergy shit.
You missed a show.
I missed a show. I missed 2 shows. I missed a show this past Friday and I missed 2 weeks ago. And it's like in and out of like my throat is just so fucked up. I'm on medication. I'm taking things, but it's like I have this weird cough and this thing, and it just doesn't really go away. My throat feels so dry. And I have a callback on Wednesday, so I need to like sing for. So I'm like, come on.
Now, does it have anything to do with your? You know me. I'm like, go take voice lessons, Russell. Is it
Here's the thing.
Allergy based.
I think we're in a cycle now where it was started as allergies, like coughing, like I'm fully congested, and that now because of the show where I scream a lot, I keep like irritating the allergy thing, and that's just not going to change in the next 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
No, but I just mean in general.
I'm not going to be someone to be like, I can't be like. Here's the thing: if I went to a voice teacher for what I'm doing in Titanic, they would have me being like, fair. Like they would have me doing like, I gotta scream. A baby's gotta scream.
There's a kind of person, and like Tova similar, where it's one of these things where it's like, I know what they're gonna tell me, and I don't want to do that, so I'm just not gonna ever deal with my shit. And then I'll just die someday, and I'll never have had to deal with it. And I go, okay, you egomaniac.
Yeah.
Go see someone who makes this their livelihood. You're going to be probably, at least in the next 10 years, another Broadway understudy. And that you don't have a voice, be a diva about your instrument.
I am. Listen, listen, if I book another Broadway show, I'll find a voice teacher. I'm not shaking your hand.
Shake my hand.
No.
Shake my hand right
It
now.
depends on what I need to do in the show. If I have like 7
sing in the
7
musical.
lines, if I have 7 lines and I sing in the chorus, I don't need a voice.
You do though. You can't wait till it's too late. This is my problem. You and Tova, same thing. You wait till it's too late, and then you're gonna have to go get the steroid shots.
Oh, I took the first ever thing I've ever had. I've never taken it's the famous Broadway drug, prednisone, something like that. Everyone takes it. They all have it. I've never taken it before.
What is it?
It's like a steroid for.
Really? They're all taking it.
Everyone's on it. Everyone's juicing. And not like all the time. You got to be careful with it because it makes you feel like a superhuman, and then you can blow out your voice. But I was like on Thursday before I was out Friday. I was like, I'm dying here. And I was nervous, like getting everything out and someone in the cast had prednisone from Mexico because you can get it there really cheap, and so I took one. But then the next day, and I don't know if this is because of it or because I felt superhuman while I was on it. My voice was so swollen that I had to call out.
How quick did it kick in?
It so fast. Like I mean,
I
it
wanna
was
try
within
this.
it was within 10, 15 minutes. I could feel different.
And it just felt like when your voice is like
It
perfect,
didn't
ready to go.
not perfect, but it felt like, oh, I can get through this, no problems. I'm not gonna crack. You know what I mean? I could power through.
Man, singing was such. I don't want to say the word traumatic, but it was such a awful way to live because I kept practicing and I'd have days where I felt like, wow, I think I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And then other days where I'd be struggling to hold an F and I'd be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And it's all this mystery box. And you see the people with the inhalers and the whatever, and you're like, that's probably not it.
Yeah.
But prednisone, if
No,
I had
everyone has
access,
those things, and I need to get one too. That is something I'm going to get if I do another show. They have the things.
so the first thing you said earlier was just a lie. We're just admitting that now.
Yeah.
You're never going to get a voice teacher.
No. I'm saying if I have a lead, listen, here's the thing. I'm not going to be cast in another lead of a musical kind of thing. Probably unless it's a very specific thing. Anyways.
What? What did you just say?
I'm just not Mr. Song and Dance.
You were the understudy for a musical that was 2 acts of pretty much just singing.
That's a specific show. Listen, I'm saying
A generic show. You need to prepare for stardom.
I'm not Brian Stokes Mitchell. I'm not Patti LuPone. Listen, I
almost got you a voice lesson. Listen, I admit, I almost got Russell a voice lesson for Christmas. And I that was going to be my gift because that's the kind of gifts I do. It's the gifts that you got to participate to take.
Homework. Hey.
You're listening to The Downside
The Downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.